Maintaining speed for traffic flow. Check that out. I'm on a 70-mile-an-hour highway. It just changed to 60. The cars are going around me, and it said maintaining speed for traffic flow, and it went down to 69. I don't have any overrides in my beta profile that I'm driving in right now, so that is a new feature for sure. I heard about it from Rocco last night. I wanted to test it out here on 995. Here we go again, passing another 60-mile-an-hour speed limit sign. And it crosses it, doesn't change the speed limit, although it does have identified 60 on there. So what is the logic it's using to come up with 69? That's an interesting question. I don't know if it's the flow of traffic right now, but let's see. I'm approaching a rig up here, and now look at this, changing lanes to get in a faster lane even. So it's committed to 69 now, as if I had scrolled it. So I wonder if there's some logic in there that when it says maintaining speed for traffic flow, it effectively selects a new speed, and that is this new speed. Is it going to come back down to 60? It's interesting. It doesn't seem like it's moderating that 69 at all now that it's selected it. I'm a very big fan of traffic flow. I recognize that there are going to be some questions, like with NHTSA, about, wait a minute, but you're breaking the speed limit. But my point is look at the traffic around me. It's actually unsafe to go that much slower than the traffic flow in some situations. So traffic flow is a very, very important part of any driver's toolkit to maintain safety. It is almost impossible to merge into traffic if you're not going the same speed as that traffic. You know, you can't be black and white about speed when interacting with other vehicles. Now, it did just choose 60 there. So that's interesting. I'm camping out in the left lane. I am going the speed limit. I am going to put the blinker on just to create a better scenario from road rage here. This is a very busy interstate here coming into Jacksonville from the airport. And you can just see these cars going around me right now. So now that it bumped it back down to 60, I wonder if it's going to use the traffic flow thing again, or is the traffic flow functionality a transition at speed limit signs? Meaning, like, does it only change that logic when the speed changes and it recognizes that might be too slow? If it recognizes these cars are going around me right now and speeds up, that would be amazing. But I haven't seen that yet. I only noticed it so far on not decelerating completely to the posted speed limit when there's a transition there. So this is a new function in 11.4.6. Perhaps we can do a little bit more testing on it and do some analysis to try to figure out exactly how it works, maybe how it comes up with a speed. So here we have another speed limit sign coming up. It's going to go down to 55. Let's see if it decides to stay at 60 when it crosses the 55. There's the 55, and it went to 59. All right, so that's a pretty good confirmation that it's not a percentage, right? So it went from 70 to 69, and it just went from 60 to 55 and knocked 1 mile an hour off. So interesting. And now it just jumped down to 55. So somehow it used that 59 miles an hour offset, self-selected offset, for a certain period of time. Cars are still going around me very quickly, on the left side anyway. This is a very uncomfortable speed for me right now. I'm probably going to have to scroll wheel this for safety. There's some 18-wheelers coming up behind me, and I can't do it that way. So I just manually scrolled it up 10 miles an hour to keep with the flow here. And we have another very big intersection that's probably going to have a few more opportunities here to see how it behaves. Especially now that I've manually scrolled it up. I wonder if it'll behave any differently. It's 50 mile an hour here. It saw the 50 and it slowed to 60. But there it is, maintaining speed for traffic flow. So that time we got another number, and now it went to 55 for traffic flow, another number. So I'm not sure what it's using other than perhaps just a detection of speed. It's used 59, 69, and now it's back to the speed limit, which is going to be too slow here. And now it jumped up to 55 there. Interesting. That was the first jump up I've seen. Now, it did not give me the alert that I noticed on the maintaining speed for traffic flow when it jumped up to 55 that time. So there's a whole lot of speed changes going on here, you can see. And in this part of this interchange between Interstate 10 and Interstate 95, there is some really bad map data. On one of my overpasses where traffic goes about 65 miles an hour, it had a detected posted speed of 35 without a sign being there. So there's obviously some bad map data telling it speeds. I don't know if it's speed limit signs underneath the overpass. I know that is a difficult problem to solve for sometimes. Let's see how it chooses to do this interchange. I can go either left or right here at this fork. It usually goes right, and it looks like it's going right. The only problem with going right here is it creates an additional lane change that it has to do for this next turn that it's got planned here at 0.8 miles. 55, you can see these cars passing me on the right. This is just, it's an interstate. While 55 is definitely a safe speed, it's a little slow with traffic. I'll try to leave the speed set as long as I can without interfering with other vehicles. All right, it needs to get over one more lane, and it's not so busy that it can't do that, so I think it's going to be fine here. But you notice this is that navigation decision it made to take that right fork. If it had taken the left fork, it would have already been in the correct lane. I have really got people on my tail here. But we're taking an exit here, so I'm just going to let it ride. A little bit of construction here. It's changed the makeup of this turn just a little bit, but Vision's handling it just fine. Now here's another speed limit change that's going to be very, very interesting to see. That time it did 45, and it didn't maintain traffic flow. There are no cars around me. So perhaps in that scenario, it truly is using vehicles around you to determine the speed to adjust to. Normally, when there's a lot of cars right next to me on this ramp, they're all going 60, and I wonder if that 45, it had chosen to stay at 60 or so. Very interesting feature with a whole lot of implications to see how it works, what speed it uses to come up, based on the traffic flow, or if it's got some sort of offset algorithm it's using. Obviously, I think I saw about 3 or 4 different speed adjustments there, so I'm not exactly sure. It feels like it might be actually using the traffic flow instead of an offset type of percentage. So I think that's the biggest thing I wanted to check on that drive right there, was that highway use of traffic flow, how the speeds adjusted. Most of the speeds, I'm going to need to do some more testing, but most of the speeds seem to be about preventing it from going too slow. I didn't ever see it recognize it needed to speed up. So I didn't see it, there was one time it went from 50 to 55, but I'm not sure why it did that. Maybe we just need to do some more testing. So anyway, that's the new feature, traffic flow. Awesome job, Tesla. Thank you for incorporating that.